What's up, guys? Welcome to week number 21 of my 2018 training. This overall was a relatively decent training week. Was able to get into my chiropractor to have everything kind of adjusted and put back into place. So what we're seeing here is my max effort bench day. We decided to work a feet up variation just to have a little bit of a change and also get a little bit of stability. And then stayed on the axle bar. I did switch to the 2-inch axle this time instead of the 2.5. It's just a little bit different, a little lighter. I think it's about 25 pounds unloaded, so the weights won't match exactly what things look like on here. But overall, this was a pretty decent day. Had minimal amounts of pain in through the shoulder and was able to get up to 315 for a triple on the top set, which felt pretty good, especially with the closer grip that I'm doing. So nothing too exciting there. Was glad to definitely have a more comfortable max effort day. I think that dropping out the extra rep work on the Wednesday workout was definitely a good call. What I ended up doing is just pushing the main speed work and then just push-ups afterwards and minimizing the amount of pressing. So the dynamic effort bench day will end up being probably more of an accessory day. It kind of has been, but I'm going to start building up volume just on the push-ups and the variations on those, and then I'm going to leave the rest of that day really focus on bringing up the amount of upper back work now that I have been able to do that pretty successfully. So that day shouldn't change too much, but you will see that I am filling in some of that rep work on the max effort day in the form of a close grip press with the Swiss bar done as a floor press. So I'm going to keep those in the 8 to 10 rep range and keep building that up over the next few weeks, and then that will be kind of still my more stressful bench workout, and I'm going to keep the dynamic effort one a little bit less intense, so that should help as well. So it brings us to the Monday workout. Worked extra wide stance with safety bar box squats as the main squat movement. Here you're seeing 240, then I also hit 290, and then I kept it at 330 for the top sets and actually did a 3x3 there rather than trying to push up to a max, which felt good. I think I may keep this kind of a format for the next 3-4 weeks and see how that feels, where I don't push the squat, I get up to something that feels like some work, and then I do multiple sets there, and then I'll push the deadlift a little bit harder and see kind of how that's feeling. But these all went pretty good. I had a little bit of tightness in through my hips here, so you can see that that left knee is fighting me just a little bit. The ankle was feeling a little bit tight too, but overall these moved well. I didn't have any major like seizure legs or anything like that go on. It just felt like a good manageable weight to kind of get some work in. So like that'll be more the direction I take the squat training going forward. After the 3 sets of 3 with 330, ended up taking some conventional pulls. I set them up off of 2 mats, which is about a 1.5 inch block. From this height is still a little bit harder than pulling off of the floor, although it's very similar as far as setup, position, and leverage and everything. The way I had the bands set up, they were quadded red minis, so I had it doubled over and then doubled over again, and I looped it over or looped it through the bottom pin in the rack, and then just kind of set them up in that rack pull type of a position. I have no idea what the band tension is on it. It feels like about 200, but it doesn't really matter. I just pulled against the quadded red minis. So at this height here, I don't think I've honestly ever taken this up to a max. I had it a little bit kind of mid-shin last time I had this set up, and I think I only went up to 405 or something like that. But that was obviously more tension if it was higher up. But took singles at 315, 365, 405, and 455 was the top lift that I hit here. These all felt pretty good. Didn't have any issues with the hips on those. My positioning, yada yada, all also felt pretty good. So this was a relatively decent session. After we were done here, I ended up hitting I believe some strict glute ham raises, a little bit of calf work, some ab work, and then we went outside and did about 20 rounds of Prowler sprints afterwards for conditioning. This time it was done under 15 minutes, so that was also A nice little conditioning PR. And then after the main work, since I did singles on the pulls, I wanted to still get a little bit extra work in. So I ended up doing 3 or 4 lighter sets of good mornings. Did these going dead stop out of the chains with, I believe this was 200 pounds of bar weight here. Yep. And ended up doing 4 total sets, 3 at this weight and 1 on a plate before that. So these all felt pretty good. Definitely not as strong at them as I have been in the past, but I haven't really trained good mornings for a long time, so that makes sense. I'll probably keep these in the rotation so long as they don't cause any firing issues with the hips. I know they were kind of on my no-no list for a little while there, but I think some of the imbalances are feeling better, so these felt pretty good. I'll keep them in as long as they feel like that. If I do start to feel any kind of a shift or any kind of abnormal pulling the left hamstring, then I'll probably shut them down and just leave the volume to more of the special exercises instead. So that brings us to the Wednesday bench workout. This is 135 again against doubled red mini bands, this time with 2 chains per side. So added a chain from last week. First maybe 2 or 3 sets were a little uncomfortable here, and then as I kind of fell into a groove, was really able to feel the triceps having to fire. So you'll notice about halfway through these sets the reps get noticeably better, and you can see the difference in drive coming from the tricep instead of from the shoulder. So big surprise, but around that same point that all the reps got faster, they also got more comfortable and more consistent. So overall, pretty good pressing on this day here. I think this workout definitely set me up for success on the Saturday max effort. So what I'll be doing is next week taking a little bit of a deload. Monday is Memorial Day, which is normally our max effort lower. I haven't skipped the max effort day in a while. The last time that I did a deload, I did it on the dynamic effort day. So what I will most likely be doing next week is just skipping the max effort workout altogether for the holiday, and just kind of taking that as a down day where I don't stress the hips. I will pick up on Wednesday with my dynamic workout, but what I will probably do on that one is just accessories. I may do some like single arm dumbbell pressing, something like that, where I'm still training all the different muscles, but I probably will not put a bar in my hands on Wednesday. That way I am fresh for the Saturday workout. And what I may do Saturday, depending on how my shoulder's feeling, is taking either some straight bar, straight weight, and kind of seeing where everything is at, or I will keep up with the variations that I've been doing and do something with the Swiss bar, maybe whether that be full range with a little bit of chain or something like that. But either Swiss bar or straight bar, it's going to depend on how I feel Saturday morning when I get to that workout. More than likely I will probably take some kind of a raw variation on the Monday max effort, and then kind of reassess where I'm at that point. Body weight is at 237 to 238 depending on the morning, so I am also within a few pounds of my 235 goal. I'm going to keep cutting for the next 3 weeks, so I've got more than enough time to get there, and so that's all going well. The max effort stuff is just going to depend on kind of how I feel, but I have been feeling all right decently this last week and a half here. It might be a good time to take a little bit of a raw day. That way I can kind of reassess and put together my game plan for the next couple of weeks following that. So I'm not quite sure. It's going to depend on how I feel. We don't have any plans or anything for this coming weekend, so provided everything still stays feeling pretty well, that's what I'll be doing. But if not, then I'll pick something that doesn't feel like shit. You can see here on the dynamic effort lower day, still working the hip airplanes. I'm able to do these without a balance beam, and they've gotten a lot better. What I will most likely do is move the hip airplanes to just part of a daily routine for me. I've been doing side planks from the knee to work on my right oblique and glute firing and kind of coordinating those things together. So what I will probably do is keep that, add the hip airplane to that as well, and then also some kind of like a wall press with a dowel rod or something to start keeping the scapulas moving well. And those things will get put on more of like a standby daily maintenance type of a place in the program rather than being a main movement. So these have gotten better enough, but I don't think they need to take up room in a training workout anymore. So those will get moved to daily maintenance. Hopefully that helps, just because I'll be adding a lot of extra frequency with these stability movements, so that might actually help speed everything up, or at least that's what I'm kind of guessing and hoping for. So cap these out at 225 on the staggered stance RDLs. Those will be getting shifted around as well. I will most likely bring in some kind of either a lunge or a single leg squat variation onto this day for the next 3-week rotation. So I'm gonna have to do a little bit of brainstorming on that, and then see what I come up with next week. As far as this workout, hit 6 sets of 3 there, did some accessories, did some conditioning, did some static holds on the front squat again, which you'll see here in a second. Pull those up to 560 for a minute hold. Those will probably also get phased out for this next 3-week wave as well. So be a couple of changes starting next week. It'll just be kind of the next evolution of some of the things that I figured out. But overall, at least this week is feeling pretty good, and I was able to have 4 relatively successful training sessions. So that is it. Hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, like it, subscribe to the channel, check out the gym's website, and I will talk to you next week.
Real good job getting that one.